Hi Surya, good morning.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hope we are doing good.
Yeah.
I just review a CV. It's look really good. Could you please tell about yourself?
Sure, ma'am. First of all, thanks for giving this opportunity. So I'm really eager to work with you in your company. About me, as you said, my name Surya, Surya Prakash, full name. Okay, so I'm having totally somewhere around 8 years of career experience. In that 8 year, right? Last 3 years, I'm being with this DevOps industry, also cloud. Okay, so this is what about my overall experience and things and stuff. So right now we are supporting for the client basically who located in India. Okay. So parallelly, right, this client also located in Singapore as well. We are the company who's taking care of their end-to-end automation and all their software-related activity and infrastructure and any sort of DevOps-related work end to end. We are taking care of it in my team, right? Close to we have around 28 members there. We are coming in the rotational shift. We have a service now as a ticketing tool. So each shift, right, we will have a closely 7 members will be there. Okay, we have each shift, we have a shift lead. Currently I am playing in the role of shift lead. Okay, so in my shift, whatever the activity and task comes, right, it will get created on service now. I used to assign that task to each of my members. Almost 6 members will be there in my shift, so 5 to 6 member. So we'll be assigning the task. The task are somewhat relate to it. It could be related to cloud. It could be related to any activity in DevOps. Okay, sometime we used to write a code, sometime we need to work on pipelines, sometime we need to merge, or we need to work on a pull request and version control. And we have to fix any error when customer executes any pipeline, right? If they found any issues or if they face any issues, we have to take responsibility of fixing those issues. And if they if they have any new automation, we need to work on the plan and we need to propose the solution to the client, and will involve in change activities as well. Okay, so this is what overall about my day-to-day activity. Yeah, this is what pretty much about myself and my background.
Okay, Surya. So let's move on the questions. What do you know about DevOps?
DevOps, almost this is what pretty much hereafter we can say, because wherever if we go, everything becoming automation today. So instead of doing anything manually way, which requires lots of human effort and lots of time consumption process, so it could be possibility of human errors and delaying in delivering any sort of products, all those things which involves when come to DevOps, right? Now nowadays almost if you go any environment, any project, DevOps play a key role, right? So development comes operations, where we have an option for automating the manual stuff, and we can work with any pipeline. We can work with version control. We can involve continuous integration, continuous delivery, and we have different way of delivering our product, and super fast the process of our product. So everything we are literally by doing automation or all the stuff, literally we are reducing the number of headcounts in the project, so which saves time, which gives you more productivity to our project, right? And this overall, right, where if you go any even infrastructure side also, even if you are belongs to on premises or cloud, yeah, mostly everybody today into cloud services itself, they have started providing DevOps related tools and services. Today everything becoming open source day by day in DevOps. So that's all put together, right? That is what current generation is all about. Even upcoming generation totally all depends on DevOps. So this is what my opinion about DevOps.
Okay. How is DevOps different from Agile methodology?
Yeah, so I could tell DevOps is kind of a culture in IT. First, like I can coordinate with my operation team, right? Where who they are taking care of my platform. Also, I'm the developer where I need to work along with the operation teams. By the way, right, put together, we'll be working on any sort of automation and activity which calls DevOps. Agile methodology is basically for building the communication with client and filling the gaps between the client when they have any requirement as much as possible. I need to understand it. I need to plan for it. I need to work on developing that such application actually. So basically, Agile methodology nowhere relevant in DevOps. It's purely for filling the gaps between the customer and the literally end user, between developer. This is what DevOps is, the platform and culture where all these manual effort is becoming automated. This is the reality where we'll coordinate with operation teams. The developer are more efficient in coordinating with the operation team and complete the work as early as possible. So there won't be any delay, and continuous build and delivery will keeps goes. This is how DevOps differ from other agile methodology and other stuff.
Okay. What is deploy and operate phases in DevOps?
Deploy and
operate phases in DevOps.
Okay, so in DevOps, right, we have various phases. Okay, starting from plan. In that, we have two common and important, we can say. One is deploy, another one is operate. That is what exactly you're looking for. Coming to deploy, right, whatever the code we have, that literally we are deploying it in our production. We are making sure things are getting live. So by deploying it, right, whatever we worked on the implementation, whatever we worked on the requirement, literally we are going to put it on the cloud environment for deploying. All right. So operate in the sense, once as soon as our things are applications are getting deployed, we continues to operate it. Okay. So till that day-to-day progress and monitoring the things and stuff. Okay. So which all falls under operation related phases in DevOps. So we have few more other things as well. Okay, testing and plan, monitoring, continuous monitoring. All those things are which part of these phases. So this is, I believe personally, these two things are very much important: deploy and operate phases.
Okay, Surya. Could you please explain any of your live real project with continuous delivery and continuous deployment?
I mean, my real project CI/CD process you are looking for, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you take any real-time CI/CD process, where initially we start from version control. For that, right, we use Git in order to implement that. So in GitHub, we kept all our source code. After that, we can go for continuous delivery in that process. We'll go for a build. Okay, in build activity, we'll start work on the applications requirement and the automation requirement, whatever we receive. Okay, after the plan. Okay, based on the plan, and we'll work on it. Here, right, we have all the build tools we used. Yeah, of course, we have various teams and different application and products we working on. Some people working on Java based activities, and we are the persons who works on Python oriented applications. First of all, our CI/CD entire pipeline, right, we deployed it on Jenkins. Okay, so in the Jenkins, right, we have a plugin. We have integrated Maven for build tool, and SonarQube for testing our the vulnerability and other security related things in our code and pipeline. So by the way, continuous delivery will go up to build stage. After that, we'll go for deploying things and stuff, and finally we'll go for execute. Okay, after that we have a testing cycle. There will be manual testing and automation testing. There will be dedicated teams available for that. But in the plan of in our pipeline itself, we have a team for testing our codes and pipeline. So it will be tested by the automation tool. We have used some Selenium kind of automation tool for testing that stuff, and finally we'll release for the production. Okay, so we are also having a staging environment. First, we'll do all these CI/CD activity and things in the staging environment. If everything works good, then we'll move on to production. This is the process we follow. During this process, right, we use all the most common tools. Since I said for versioning, we use Git and source code management repository. GitHub we use, right. Same way, we have a Jenkins as a platform, and we use Ansible. Okay, and we use Terraform for some infra related code deployment, and we use Python. Overall, right, our pipeline, right, it's a declarative pipeline which we written using Jenkins Groovy, where it has multiple stages which involved. Okay, So this is how we made our pipeline. This is how we put it in our place in the environment.
Okay. So what is the role of configuration management in DevOps?
Configuration management?
In DevOps.
Okay. So configuration management, we could tell, many tools are there, but you're asking about the role, right? So when you have a huge systems in place, okay, of course, right, when you go for any project, even customers will have lot many systems, and as a developers, as a support team or operation team or a DB team, they'll have a lot many servers for their day-to-day work, right? For each and everything, we cannot do any, if we want to perform any patching or any vulnerability fix or anything to be updated or driver update or any agent to be installed across all the platform, it's hard to do one by one, correct? So for that, we have a configuration management tool. Personally, when you ask me, I have an exposure with the Puppet and Ansible. Okay, we are for Linux, we use Ansible. For Windows related servers, we use Puppet. Initially, we were using SSEM, but licensing part is very expensive, so they switched over to Puppet. Of course, I know that even Ansible also can support Windows. Also, Puppet also can support Linux. But initially, there was some licensing part and differentiation. Due to that, I have a personal experience with the Ansible and Puppet. We have Ansible master servers are there through KeyPair, right? We get through KeyPair, all my clients are connected with my Ansible master server. Literally, it works in the principle of agentless. Okay, it works as use the same port number, SSH port number for communicating and things and stuff. We used to write up Ansible playbooks. So, for example, I wanted to install some patching, I wanted to install some security update or any security fix, okay, anything like that. I'll write a playbook and we'll push that. I wanted to update any drivers, something my vulnerability Qualys kind of tool. It's detecting some vulnerability. I need to update the solution. That also I don't want to do through one by one all the servers manually from Ansible. I'll write Ansible playbook. I'll pass that solution to my client. I have a group also in Ansible. We have various group depend upon the role and roles of that respective server through this configuration management tool, right? We will push that by writing all Ansible code actually. This is what basically the role of configuration management tool in every DevOps does. Also, we can integrate this tool with any of our pipeline, right? So if I wanted to perform anything, the required place, right, the Ansible can do their appropriate work. So this is what about my understanding on configuration management tool in DevOps.
Okay. Could you please explain any of your live implementation of configuration management?
Live implementation of configuration. Yeah, just now, as I said, I have a exposure. We implemented Ansible. We have an Ansible master server, which it's Ubuntu based server, and we have close to 200 plus other systems are available in our cloud platform. All these all available in our AWS platform. Okay. So from Ansible, right, we used to write a playbook, and if we wanted to know in our environment, the purpose what we are doing for patching, definitely we go for Ansible, and vulnerability fix, right, definitely we'll go for done it through Ansible. Or if I wanted to install any agent, or I wanted to update any agent, or I want to restart any servers, which I wanted to do the bulk activity, right, everything we have done it through playbook, Ansible playbook, we'll do it. Also, we have Ansible roles. Okay, so based upon the requirement, we will work on that as well. So this is what my experience with configuration management tool in my project.
Okay, Surya, could you please explain the continuous monitoring of any DevOps system?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
Okay, no problem. I will repeat. Could you please explain the continuous monitoring of any DevOps system?
Continuous monitoring of any DevOps system. Basically, monitoring play a major role. Once your implementation has been done, deployment has been done it in cloud, any cloud environment. Yeah, of course, today nobody allowed to go with on premises. Everything happening it on cloud, right? We have various monitoring systems available. So monitoring our applications and application services, critical servers, utilization of those servers, and that have to be we'll have a dashboard. Also, if we fail to monitor in the dashboard, it should trigger the alert through notification, either through email. Mostly we follow the email. we have a distribution list in our environment. I told you, right? Each shift we have 6-7 members will be there. All of them should be part of that distribution list. We have set up the monitoring tool. We use AWS as a monitoring tool, and the Neuralink we are using. Neuralink is the paid one, so we'll go for only the critical resources. AWS is the open source one. We deploy it on our own. Apart from that, AWS itself, we have a cloud watch monitoring system available. That also inbuilt monitoring things are enabled. In the team, right? They are planning to replace my Neuralink with Sensu, because which is more efficient in terms of monitoring the disk of each server and the service of each server and application services of each server. So it's more efficient and user friendly and easy to set up as well, and lightweight. Due to all these reasons, right, they are in the plan of migration, but it will not come now. It will take another quarter or 6 months later. They may the talk is going on. By the way, the importance of monitoring thing is we need to ensure it's not only about developing the product or setting up the pipeline and making sure the product is coming up. We need to keep monitor it when there is outage, when there is any problem, when the service gets stopped, when there's an overutilization of the resources, when it is more people are accessing it. We have to continuously make sure the service is always accessible by the end user. Actually, for that, monitoring takes a major place in any DevOps system.
Okay. Could you please explain the term infrastructure as a code?
Infrastructure as a okay. So coming to infrastructure as a code, we can say whatever the platform we have, okay, that are obviously today we are getting it on top of cloud only. It should be from any AWS or Azure or GCP. The required networking things are required, servers, the connectivity and the security groups kind of thing, and the volumes, disk storage, IP addresses, whatever, that all we should be the net and getting it from the cloud environment only. Correct. So when you have a infrastructure as a code, we don't want to provision any resources manually. Okay, we'll be do it through infrastructure as a code tools. Example, we can take we implement Terraform in our environment. Of course, in AWS we have this one Cloudformation we have, and Azure we have Azure Resource ARM, Azure Resource Manager is there. Likewise, right, we have a Terraform. Since why we go with Terraform, it's open source and platform independent. We can use for Azure, GCP, AWS, whatever we want. So we have introduced Terraform in our project. Earlier it was manual stuff. Now we are managing through Terraform only. Even in one of our pipeline also we made it for Terraform for resource build and things and stuff. So it creates all the resources and manage the state files. Future I wanted to create any resource or destroy any resource also. It's also been manageable from Terraform. Okay, so we are not going to create a resources through manual way. Entire infrastructure, right? We have a template. Through the template, we will, in single shot, single go, we will go and implement it. So that is what infrastructure as a code.
Okay, how you manages the version control of your source code in your platform?
Okay, as I said, right, version control is a key part and one of the very basic and important part of every environment. Because people when do their codes, right, they will have a multiple branches in our GitHub. So initially we won't allow any of the developer to work directly on the master branch. So we have a staging or we have a sub branch testing things will be there. Initially they'll clone their staging part and they will start to work on that staging. When the activity has been done, right, they will create a pull request. We'll review the pull request, then we'll go for merging the code. Only the shift lead will have a option for merging the code, and no one directly will not touch or access into our master branch. We will integrate it. Okay, finally after reviewing all these things, we will integrate it. So that's where at each and every push, we need to have a proper comment. So even anything goes wrong, also we have a backup. I mean, what changes has been done, for previous history of different push from different developer. We'll go through that, and it will be easy for us to track the changes. So by the way, right, we have managers, and of course we give a very high priority for all our version control system in our project.
Okay, how to store the sensitive data in any DevOps activities?
So sensitive data means any critical data, you need to say?
Yes.
Okay, so of course, when we perform any activity, that is definitely going to work in that definitely for customers' data only. So we need to give always a high priority to customer data, because if anything goes wrong or miss somebody got the data from our side, it will be an impact to our project as well as customers. So what we do, right, all the data we kept it in the encrypted environment only. We won't keep the data in unencrypted environment. We have a policy, SCP policy, and we have some customized policy applied as per our organization standard. Whatever the data we handles, that should be into the environment where it encrypted. Okay, that is by default. And if we are playing with any private key of customers, or if we are playing with any credential, okay, whatever, we have a Terraform vault available. Okay, and in AWS also we have a service for keeping our security related things. Sorry, I couldn't recollect that service name. Okay, we use the vault kind of data. We used to encrypt our data. Okay, so we'll not use the credential and all as plain text. We'll never hard code anything in our script. Okay, so we are following this as a best practices. Whatever the data we kept it in the vault, right, we'll pass that value as a reference only. We'll never go with plain text. So we'll never keep any credential in our SEM, GitHub and all. Okay, those are very crucial we handles. We have our security team available who used to inspect all our data always. We have a dedicated team to monitor all the security of our code and vulnerability of anything, or any possibility of anything, data loss or whatever. The security team will keep eye on all our activities. By the way, we'll ensure our data are secured in DevOps activity. So this is what we gives importance to our environment.
Okay, Surya. So all the explanations are really good. I will hand over the data to HR team. They will get back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your time.